Meanwhile, the White House is going beyond pardons when it comes to the fallout from the January 6th Capitol riot. Right now, FBI agents across the country, they are under the microscope and being asked to answer questions about their role in investigating many of those cases. CBS News Department of Justice correspondent Scott MacFarlane joins us now. Scott, thank you for being here. We know agents are expected to receive questionnaires, but what do those questions look like? Do we know?
And some of these questions are particularly specific and granular to try to figure out what role these agents or FBI employees played in the January 6th investigations, the largest criminal investigation in U.S. history. We know from our CBS News reporting this could impact as many as 5,000 employees inside the FBI, a truly bonkers number. And the January 6 investigations, unlike so many other FBI probes, actually touched every single FBI field office across the country. This is not a Washington, D.C. issue. This is a nationwide issue. And the deadline was set for mid-afternoon today for those employees to complete this questionnaire and submit it to their supervisors. Then there's a deadline tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, for the FBI to hand over all those names and potentially all those records to the interim leadership of the U.S. Department of Justice. This has been a tumultuous 24 hours inside the Bureau, and it'll be another tumultuous 24 hours to come. There is concern that there is a blackballing of January 6th investigating agents that is about to happen and to a degree has already started.
Yeah, Scott, and speaking of those concerns, are they also concerns that this probe could lead to mass firings within the FBI and at field offices across the country?
Yeah, FBI and Department of Justice memos reviewed by CBS News say among those names that are provided, those lists of names of those who investigated January 6th to the Department of Justice, there can be future employment actions against some of those employees, if not many of those employees. So yeah, there's a concern that having touched the January 6th cases could lead to a forced retirement, resignation, or firing. But there's a more pernicious and fundamental issue here that's playing out this afternoon in Washington. There is a broader concern that simply going through this process, having your name named, having questions asked about your role in January 6th is going to have a chilling effect on the FBI and its agents to be careful what they investigate in the future, that if it doesn't meet with the White House's approval, that those types of investigations are going to be frowned upon. That is an historic, absolute breach of the traditional independent relationship between the FBI, the Department of Justice, and the White House, perhaps cementing a change into how federal law enforcement functions, where they're supposed to be independently choosing their cases and pursuing their cases, not looking for political approval in advance.
And Scott, I think you just answered my next question there, but just how unusual is it to see FBI agents being questioned like this?
This is unique in the FBI's history and has ramifications on the front lines. Take a listen to Frank Figluzzi, a longtime FBI employee, now retired, who spoke with Face the Nation yesterday.
You are starting to lose too much experience. And if this plays out next week, as reportedly it might, with regard to dismissing hundreds or thousands of special agents in the field who have touched January 6 cases or Trump-related cases, this makes America less safe. This is not reduction. This is not efficiency. It makes America less safe when you lose that much expertise this quickly. Interestingly enough, both the acting director and acting assistant director would be on that list. They both worked Jan 6 related cases or Trump related cases. So we've got a potential standoff that's here. But yes, line agents did nothing outside of the law or attorney general guidelines. They simply worked criminal cases, in many cases gained convictions and guilty pleas. And if they were literally all to be pushed out the door, we would be talking about thousands of FBI agents. There's only 14,000 agents in the field, and we'd be talking close to 6,000 of them who worked such cases.
No matter if there are mass terminations, this whole enterprise has damaged, if not destroyed, morale and sown distrust inside federal law enforcement.
Yeah, a lot to come out of this one. Scott MacFarlane, thank you so much for your time today.